Hello guys, welcome to this Disneyland World Update. Big news today on our on Star Wars Land and the Disneyland Resort enhancements. So I'll come from the MyStrat article and Disney Parks blog article, all in detailing several enhancements for the opening of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge in just under a couple of months here. Starting off with Star Wars Galaxy's Edge news. That's news on when they open, how to handle that demand. As mentioned before, there will be no standby queue. I guess we'll have to have a reservation to enter new land. This is a timed reservation, meaning you can't enter at 3 p.m. and then just stay until midnight. You must enter at 3 and leave at 7 p.m. type of ordeal. There's a time slot of window of a few hours that should give you enough time to ride the Millennium Falcon ride and explore the shops and restaurants of the land, and then you'd have to get out. This reservation period is going on through the first month, May 31st through June 23rd. Keep in mind, Rise of the Resistance, again, will not be open during this time. It is delayed, or not really delayed, but just not ready to open early. I guess it's just on track for hopefully the original opening. But yes, we'll have a timed entry, meaning again you have a certain amount of hours to enjoy the land and then get out. This is how everyone will be able to experience the land. And the land will actually be at its highest capacity because people won't be stuck there. When you force people to get in, force people to get out. It allows a new group of people to come on in. So this is all free of charge as well. We previously thought with the Pixar Pier and the Guardians of the Galaxy parties, special premiere parties, Galaxy's Edge will have to be like $1,000 something to charge to get in. But Disney did some very grace. They changed their mind and they went the free reservation, which is awesome. Just for the first month again, you're gonna have to just a timed period, which is better than no period at all. I'd rather have 4 hours to spend in Galaxy's Edge rather than 0 hours to spend in Galaxy's Edge and waiting an extra month. So thank you, Disney, for that one. And some new details here as we go. There's some new details here in this article. Yeah, Disney gonna do some queue management, meaning just like Universal does, and other parks around the country, how they sell refreshments in the line to their rides. Mid queue of Rise of the Resistance and Smuggler's Run, Disney will be selling snacks and beverages just in case someone gets hungry or thirsty in the ride. Also, no doubt it's a great way to make some extra cash for someone just sitting there doing nothing in line. Some people probably who aren't even hungry. That happened actually to me in Universal. I was in line for Revenge of the Mummy and I wasn't even hungry yet because I was just standing in a 40-minute line and there was some ice cream right there. I'm like, man, I might as well get some ice cream more. Might as well get this Sprite. So it's a good revenue making choice for Disney. But also, if guests truly are hungry and thirsty and don't want to jump out of line because they really want to ride the ride, they'll be able to get their refreshments and snacks in line. There'll be also a bathroom pass, something similar to what is happening in Flight of the Passage over at Walt Disney World in Animal Kingdom. Those guests, and because those routinely, especially now, average 3 to 4 hour lines during the busiest times of Flight of Passage. People definitely need to go to the bathroom during that time, so people are allowed to. There's a bathroom pass you get, and you can get out of the Flight of Passage line, go to the bathroom, come right back in that same, or not the same spot, but come right back into where your party is. And that same similar scenario will be addressed here for Smuggler's Run and Rise of the Resistance, where you'll be able to go ahead and go to the bathroom and then come right back, which is a great idea and something that should be implemented for Radiator Springs racers as well. That always averages a 2+ hour line. So I am glad Disney is bringing this over to the West Coast and really expanding this, I guess I can say, pilot program to their parks. And again, with the capacity issues, oh geez, sorry guys. With the capacity issues we got, oops, scrolling down here on this article, and computer is not doing well again here. But we are So yes, yeah, capacity of they're nothing. They're something else they're trying is a virtual queue. Now, keep in mind, I don't know if you haven't followed Universal's Volcano Bay Water Park, looks absolutely beautiful, by the way, in Orlando, Florida. That whole park, whole water park, is all virtual queue, meaning you have like these guests wear something on the wrist, so they have like a device, and they can press on. It's something like Fast Pass. This place a Fast Pass only park. You can select the time you want to go on the ride. You'll get a notification when it's for you to get in line. And then you can exit the wave pool or exit wherever you are and go right over to the slide that you want to get on, which is great. And Disney's gonna try this is this virtual queuing process, and they're gonna test it. That virtual queuing process probably will not debut until after the reservation period ends, because in reservation you can limit the capacity. The soft opening period you can definitely limit the capacity. But the virtual queuing is for the mad crowds that are gonna rush in when it's a free for all. And I think that would be a great idea, and also gives Disney an extra month to test it if they don't debut the virtual queuing system during the May 31st soft opening period, which is great. It gives Disney time to test it and perfect it, which is great. So no real details on how they're gonna do that. If it's gonna be the same as the Universal system, probably something similar. We don't know. Probably through the app, most likely. But I'm sure more and more details as we get closer to the event. Last, Galaxy's Edge piece of news is the costume. So the costume policy around the Disneyland Resort is you can't wear them. If you're under a certain age, you can't wear them. If you're over a certain age, you can't wear costumes at all. Same policy applies to Galaxy's Edge. Even if you buy a costume, first order costume in Galaxy's Edge, you cannot wear that costume in Galaxy's Edge or throughout the park. Due to the costuming policy, which is kind of, slightly unfortunate, because then if you look at the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, you're able to buy a robe and a wand and be a wizard throughout the land, and actually throughout the entire park of Universal. See people all the time when City Walk and Universal, line for other rides, wearing their robes. So I think it's pretty cool. Hopefully Disney might tweak that or change that policy a little bit, at least even if they allow the costume wearing policy just inside the land. Then you have to take it. There's like a change room, something you have to take it off before you get out. Something, because I think it's really cool to see a whole bunch of little Jedi, little First Order, Resistance crew members who aren't cast members, going to the land with their lightsabers, and especially if you're allowed to have the droid follow you. You can make in the droid shop, you can build your custom droid, then you'll have it follow you, and that would be pretty. So if you're caught in a costume with your droid following you, I think that'd be fantastic. Next, that's the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge related news, but there's parking and security enhancements news, and actually, should I make a separate video for this one? No, I'll continue. The parking security enhancements, we have, first of all, the new parking structure, which is deemed the Clio parking structure, has an official name. The official name is Pixar Pals parking structure. It'll be 6,500 space parking structure, and we probably have an opening month. It's gonna open no later than the end of July, but hopefully sooner is the official word from the Disney Parks blog, meaning they really want to finish up, get as many of those crowds as possible for the for Star Wars Galaxy's Edge crew. The latest it will open up is the end of July, and but that's not the only place they're adding spaces. They're also gonna adding toll lanes in the Mickey and Friends parking garage for the increased capacity of the cars as well. And then it includes Mickey and Friends, and the Pixar Pals will have the digital system, the system that tells you how many spaces are full, how many spaces are open on each level, which is good for not maybe in the morning, but for the later afternoon when you turn into a self-parking garage and you have to park yourself. You'll know how many spaces are open on each level, so you won't waste your time driving around in circles which is great. And they're installing I call it the red light, green light system with the lights on top of the parking garage like that. So that's really good job for Disney for that one. They already had a very efficient parking system. Now it's gonna be even more efficient when come July when this is open. And again, the newest parking lot will be called Pixar Palace, and each of the levels is themed. Level 1 will be Incredibles. Level 2 will be Coco. Level 3 will be themed to Cars. Definitely gotta, if you're gonna put a Pixar, you gotta have a Cars in there, because parking garage and Cars. Level 4 will be Monsters Inc. 5 is Finding Nemo, and 6 is Inside Out. It'd be cool if level 6 was kind of like up, like it's the highest level, and you're like going up. I don't know. That'd be a cool little pun to put in there. But either way, that's awesome. And they have name and theming for the garage, and more details on the pedestrian bridge. It's being called the Magic Way Pedestrian Bridge. And there's a rendering here, not really new, looks like the same. And again, the bridge will coming up from that rotunda structure all the way across to the Downtown Disney parking lot and into Downtown Disney. That has not started yet. Again, that's also, I think, that's the main reason that it's going to open up in July, because the bridge has not started yet. If you looked at construction updates from Fresh Baked or Theme Park Obsession, which I'll link some up here, they go to the parking lot and you just see it has not started yet. So that's probably a major reason why it's going to open up a little bit late here. Going on, but they're mostly even started painting the parking stripes in the parking levels, the first and second parking levels of the Pixar Palace garage. So the bridge and landscaping should start really, really soon. I imagine definitely in the next couple of weeks here. And the next one is the Toy Story lot. The Toy Story lot has a major expansion coming. I remember when they temporarily added 500 spaces a few months ago, but now they're adding another 2,150 parking spaces for guests in the lot, which is incredible. They're going to use the area behind the Jessie section of the lot, and it includes 100 new EV charging stations, EV is electric vehicle, and adding guest restrooms. And they're also creating a new bag check prior to the boarding the buses, meaning by the time they get to Harbor Boulevard, they will already be past security, meaning they don't have to mix in with that Harbor Boulevard crowd to double or triple lines of security. They'll already be bag checked, which would be awesome. Also, the bag check security scene at Making Friends will, if you look at the parking garage at the Pixar Palace, see a whole bunch of slots, about 20 to 30 slots. Those will all be filled with security bag check points. So very efficient system. Get the guests in, screen them, and then go ahead and get them onto the trams, which is fantastic. So I'm glad that Disney's improving the security and pushing it out further and further. So when you get into the berm, get into the parks, you're already in the parks. You don't have to deal with any more of that. No more lines, none of that stuff, which is awesome. And 33 additional security lanes have been added or will be added to the resort area, which is fantastic here. And lastly here, the park is doing some fast pass fine tuning. Okay. Yeah. Fast pass fine tuning right here, meaning they are limiting the amount of fast passes that can be distributed at a certain time. So, like for example, the Matterhorn is having fewer fast passes for the hours right after the parade, because everyone shoots right over to the standby line of the Matterhorn after the parade. So let's say the parade ends at 6. The area between 6 and 7, or 6:30 to 7:30, will have fewer fast passes being distributed because of the increasing standby line. So, which is pretty cool. It's awesome that Disney's and these are invisible changes. You don't even notice them yourselves because you're just getting that max pass, the fast pass yourself. So the fact that Disney's doing this, they're trying every possible way to increase capacity and make things more efficient for the guests. And it's all because of Galaxy's Edge. None of this stuff would be happening, or maybe not. Some of it, maybe in little increments, but not all of it together. All this stuff happening at the same time is all in the preparation for Galaxy's Edge, because it's almost March 29th right now, March 31st. Is in 2 days. That means exactly 2 months. 2 months, 2 days from now, Galaxy's Edge will be open for those first guests. So the reservation is gonna help the mad crush of people. But still, it's very important. Disney's trying every possible way to clear out some queue space, make things more smooth, get people out of those lines, and get people moving out of the walkways into lines and restaurants and moving. Speaking of ways to do that, we have a thing called Project Stardust, and my next video is going to explain some major new Project Stardust enhancements. Also, Disney security has banned some key things that you won't be able to bring into the park. Stay tuned for the next video coming up in the next either later today or later this weekend for some big Disney news. Have a great weekend, guys, and stay tuned. I'll link the construction videos up there.